hello there. Wow, I've forgotten how absolutely bonkers it is to talk while you're looking at yourself. Must be why I haven't done this for a while. Hope everyone's doing well. I only just jumped on here because I had a fantastic chat, quite a long chat, with a fella called Darius from his channel and his brand. His name is Olithics, which I've ran into through other circles, and he reached out to me from some comments I made, and we had a fantastic chat together yesterday, mainly about out-of-body experiences, how they happen, how you can induce them, but that's a broad church. We went everywhere in about 2.5 hours, that relates to getting out of the body, dream work, lots of stuff, health. So I was mainly coming on just to point you in the direction. I could do all the links, but seriously, he's on Rumble, but he's also on Telegram and on YouTube. And really, if you're interested, you'll go back and listen to the name again, and you'll find him, or you won't. And the other one that I ran into this morning was a fantastic intuitive tarot reader who goes by the name of San. I think her channel on YouTube is San Tarot. It's quite easy to find. And her latest reading dovetails in remarkably with the conversation that she really hadn't listened to at all, although she's plugged into Darius, not me at all, but Darius's stuff. And so yeah, it's interesting how those connections get made. So if you're interested in either out-of-body stuff, health stuff, a different way of looking at things, or intuitive tarot readings, you go and check out either of those things through YouTube. I'm pretty sure Darius he doesn't do much on YouTube. He's been sticking to Rumble for censorship reasons, of course, kind of like a moral standpoint, which I completely applaud. But he did put this one up on YouTube, I think, so it'll be there. Yeah, I've been busy, is what I've been doing, is why I haven't been here, watching the world go by and surviving, and haven't been doing anything much on YouTube, because I just have no time to point a camera at myself and talk. Don't even have a lot of time to type. Sharing memes is quick, although very surface level. My Instagram channel has been a lot of that, just trying to get people to think outside of their box. There's no right or wrong, or I've got the truth and you haven't. But I've been a little bit too vocal there on certain medical interventions, so there's a bit of shadow banning going on with the Instagram and the Facebook link, which you get. And I haven't spoken about any of that at all vocally, like through the screen to put up as a video or anything. And so I might as well do that now. My viewpoint is you are free. You're as free as you want to be. And so you do whatever you want to do. If you see something you want to do, or someone convinces you that you should be doing that. I'm moving around a bit. The mosquitoes are killing me down here, but what a spot. It's pretty glorious. So where else would you want to be? If you see something and it grabs you, or you feel like you need to do it, then do it. I've got no problems with that at all, nor should I have. I shouldn't even need to make a statement about that. That's life. That's how it rolls. You might think you're not free, or there are things you have to abide by, but at the end of the day, you're the ultimate arbiter of how free you are, no one else. So you do whatever you want to do, medically, liquidly, in a food form, or otherwise, and roll with the consequences of that. That's free choice. It's not even free choice, it's just personal choice, and it's the way the whole thing's set up. Whatever this thing is that we're in, that's how it's set up. If you want to, if the choice gets presented to you as a non-choice by a government or a group or your employer, or someone who has a bit of say in your life. I mean, you gave them that say in your life, fair enough, but if the decree about what you should be doing personally, internally, things that you should be taking comes down from on high, no, I'm going to call that, because the only argument you've got for doing that is your actions are endangering other people. You know, we can't let you drive a car at 250 kilometres an hour, because who says you're safe? You haven't had the training, the car might fall apart, you didn't put the right tyres on it. You shouldn't be able to do that. We go to deter you from doing that sort of thing. And so if that's the statement, you know, the onus is on the people making the statement. If you think my personal choices about my bodily autonomy are endangering others, then you show me pretty solid proof that what I'm doing is endangering others. Otherwise, you can go and whistle in the wind, because I'm a fairly responsible person, and I went looking early. Like, I went looking before that year broke. In between Christmas and New Year, I went looking, and nothing I saw between then and now changed my mind, not surprisingly. So, you know, that's without hitting any keywords and setting any alarms off, that's my stance on it. You do what you want to do, and let others do what they want to do, as long as they're not endangering others. And if you think they are endangering others, you prove that. Or you just go about your business. Because if you're not going to go about your business, it starts to look like you've got other irons in the fire. You're doing it for a reason that you're not disclosing. So the different ways that I presented that view did get me shadow banned on a lot of channels. That's just what it is. And yes, I know there's going to be some people looking at this going, it's all an outside distraction. You know, all of this stuff. It's a total distraction, and yeah, it is. It is an outside distraction. That's completely correct. So are your kids, so is your work, so is what food you're going to eat tonight. It's all an outside distraction. So where are you going to draw that line? The only reason you're paying attention to anything outside of yourself is because it resonates with something inside of you. The only reason. There are people that would have no clue what's going on in Ukraine. Absolutely guarantee it. There'd be people who have no clue about a lot of situations in the world, like a lot of different situations. No clue, because it has no personal resonance to them. And so, you know, everything is happening all the time. Every situation you could think of that's come up in the last bit of recorded history is happening around the world all the time. And so which bits are you paying attention to, and which bits are grabbing your attention? The only reason they grab your attention is because there's something in you that resonates with that. And now you can go and wave a flag, or make a political statement, or go and fight for someone, or shout at someone in the street because of what they're doing or not doing, and you're just avoiding the subject. You're not actually doing anything. Even going to a protest about something could quite potentially be completely avoiding the subject, because the subject is in you first. And if you haven't squared away in you, then you're a liability at the protest. You're not an asset, because you're coming there with all your stuff. The only reason you even noticed the situation, because you've got stuff to square away. So square away that stuff first, and then go and do it. But life is only pointing these things out to you, or, I mean, it's not even that. It's not even that nuanced. You're only noticing the 3% of what's going on around you that you're noticing, because it has some sort of resonance, beneficial or non-beneficial, with you. And it's your invitation to deal with that. Sometimes dealing with that on the outside first, so it heals on the inside. Yeah, these things work in both directions. It's an open-ended system. It's beautiful that way. But that's the long way, the hard way. And in the long term, the uncomfortable way. the short-term uncomfortable, but also the quickest way, is to find where that is in you and sort that out. And then go out there, because you'll be resonating with the solution, not the problem. You go out there resonating with the problem, you're just a whole bag full of cats and more problems. We need to be rolling with solutions at this point if we're doing anything outside of ourselves, like anything. And it doesn't matter whether it's Ukraine or you losing your job or you even having an argument in the job you kept, or with your spouse or your kids, or a dream you had last night. I mean, walk it all the way out and walk it all the way back in. It's just Russian dolls. But the easiest place to deal with it is here first, not out there. You won't get much traction out there. You'd be on ice with woolen socks, just slipping and sliding. It's tricky to do this stuff though, because it's like me looking at this screen. It's personal. It's like recording yourself playing a musical instrument and then playing it back to listen to all the slips and the mistakes, and that's confronting. But that's what it's about. You wouldn't be getting confronted with this stuff if it wasn't meant to be confronting, to sort it out. That's the invitation. No one's telling you to sort it out. No one's even asking you to sort it out. You're being invited to sort it out. And as we can see in the last 2.5 years, if you only just started paying attention, but more like 10 years to 15 years, and you could just keep going back, depending on your attention span, the invitation will get louder. Anyone who has children understands this concept well. If you don't hear me, I will say it louder, and then I will say it louder, and then I'll pinch someone else so they scream at the same time as I'm saying it louder again, and maybe I'll break something. Like, no one's forcing you, it's still an invitation, but the invitation's going to get pretty bolshy, as we've seen. So, here's me talking in circles again. No wonder Darius and I talked for 2.5 hours. Yeah. Accept the invitation. Find one thing today that pushed your buttons. Shut your eyes. Take 3 breaths and find where it is in you. And then accept that invitation to do something about it. You don't even do anything about it, just find that it's there and accept it is part of you. Maybe that's enough. And it just go away all by itself. It'll just dissolve back into you or out of you, whatever way works for you, whatever paradigm you want to operate in. And so while we're here, crouched in the water, that could possibly be running as high as that, but is only running as high as that at the moment, luckily for me. I know a lot of my breathing stuff is all about, breathing up and down through your body, breathing in and out of organs, connecting down into the earth underneath you. But at this point, let's just close our eyes and take a breath. And connect into you. And then breathe out and keep that connection. And if you don't know where you are, there's the invitation to slow it down a bit more, take another breath, and find out where you are. Not your name, not your children, not your car, not your job, not your hat, not your beard, or your brand new piercing or tattoo. You. And as you take that 3rd breath, if you still haven't quite found you, and the tip is you'll never find you, but you'll find where you are. You'll find the location of you. You won't ever find you because there's nothing there. But there's a location where that nothing resides. And if you still haven't found it, the invitation still stands to take another breath. Right down into your pelvis, into your tailbone, into your feet if you need to. Expand everything out and say, hey, where am I? Where am I in here? Am I even in here? Am I out there somewhere, floating around above me, below me, off to the side? Am I not even in my body at this point? And just keep going. Take another breath again. And just keep it quieter and slower and calmer, and just keep dropping it off, relaxing the muscles, relaxing the thoughts, dropping it away. Nice, slow breaths in and out. And just keep, questioning, politely querying, where am I? Leave you with that. Hope you have a fantastic day or night, wherever you are. Much love.